What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we're back at Insurance Auto Auctions here in Oklahoma City for another walk around. Let's jump into this video today and see what we find. And the thumbnail of today's video is a 1929 Ford Model A. This is the one I actually really want, guys. Not this particular one, but a Model A. You guys remember I had a Model T back in the day that had been parked in a barn for many years, and we got it running. In fact, we were able to make that thing run on all kinds of things. Gasoline, rubbing alcohol. It was so easy to adjust the mixtures and everything and get the thing running. These old vehicles they'll literally run on absolutely anything that is flammable. It's kind of impressive. There it is. Look at this teeny tiny little engine, and you've got an itty-bitty little carburetor down here, guys. So simple, so easy to work on. Now this is interesting because it's missing the plug wires. You can see the distributor cap here. These, in my opinion, are better than a Model T because the transmission is much easier to understand. There it is right there. You can see the floors are gone. Look how small the transmission is in this. That's it. That's a very little transmission. Looks like it's been converted to a 12-volt system, but you actually have a regular gear shifter here, guys. Makes it much easier to drive. The old Model Ts, those are a little more complicated, guys. This one has obviously been sitting for a long period of time. It looks like somebody started a restoration on it, or maybe even completed a restoration on it at some point. And then, just like so many of these things, they end up sitting. You know, they're fun, they're relatively cheap. You can buy these for next to nothing, guys. In fact, I would recommend, if you're ever interested in buying one of these Model A's, just buy one that's restored, okay? Just trust me on this. Buy one that's restored. It is so cheap to buy one of these. It's already put together and ready to go. I can find these all day long between $12,000 and $15,000 in really good shape. I mean, in really good shape. So the amount of money it's going to cost you to try to put this back together, the convertible top, I don't know. I don't think they called it a convertible, but there's chicken wire up there. I don't think that's factory. Maybe it is. I don't know. There's your wiper motor, I think is what that is right there. Yeah, there's a little wiper motor. Back in the day, there was a handle up here, and if you needed windshield wipers, you manually had to move it by hand to clean your windshield. But the cost of replacing this top and all the windows, the body work that needs to be done, the mechanical condition being unknown, this is something, it's going to cost a lot of money to put this together, guys. Paint, you've got rust spots, you got paint flaking off. This whole thing just needs to be sanded down. And again, tires, not going to be particularly cheap on this, and unknown condition of the engine and transmission. Something like this, and it's missing the headlights. This thing's missing a lot. You know what I mean? This is unfortunate, man. I hate seeing these things in this condition, but it's one of those things. The people that were really intrigued by these, the people that really wanted to own and drive one of these, unfortunately, they have all started passing away. In fact, they're probably mostly passed away at this point, and the remaining people just aren't that interested in these anymore. I, for one, am 44 years old, and I still absolutely love these vehicles because this is where it all started. All of the things that you see out here today, all of these vehicles that are sitting out here today, it all started with something like this. Next, how about we move on from a Model T and go straight to a 2022 BMW X7, right? Just for comparison, look how far we've come, guys. This thing's kind of a big Bertha. This is an xDrive 40i, which is going to be the turbo inline 6. Continental tires. Looks good, except for being completely covered in dust, which everything out here is going to be. And the hail damage. You're going to see a lot of vehicles coming to the channel that are going to be hail damaged, and I have a hunch, because of all the weather and all the devastation going on around the country, you're going to probably be seeing a lot of flood vehicles coming out here as well. So we're going to have to be a lot more vigilant as we're looking at cars and bidding on cars to be very cautious of what we bid on, because I promise you, flood cars are going to be flooding the market. Copart, IAA, they're going to be everywhere. And don't think that the flood vehicles just sit in the area where they were flooded. They don't. they don't have enough manpower, they don't have enough lot space to handle all of that. So what they do is they load them up and they ship them all over the country. You will get cars in Kansas, in California, Washington, New Mexico. I almost said Mexico. New Mexico, Nevada. You're going to be seeing these cars from all this devastation all over the United States. So just be very careful when you're bidding on some of these vehicles at auction. This one runs great. Next service doing 8,000 miles. The miles on it are what? Total 32,691 miles. It's not bad. Not bad for a 2-year-old car. You know, 16,000 miles a year. A little above average, but not too crazy. So you can cover up your cup holders, I guess. All right. Wireless charging, I assume only one? You only get one wireless charger in this. Really? Now, I love this kind of crystal look on the shifter. That is absolutely beautiful, not to mention elegant. And then look at the mirrored finish on these as well, including the start button. Absolutely beautiful. Attention to detail is king in these guys. Absolutely gorgeous stitched leather. Everything is soft touch like you would expect. Oh, no way. No way. This is 2 years old. It's got 32,000 miles. And look what I just found. A glowing check engine light on a BMW? No. No way. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Well, I wonder what that would cost to fix, huh? I wonder what it is. LED lights. We're going to pop the hood on this. I'm not really interested in this one, but I thought coming from a Model A, it would be fun. Oh, hey. Coming from a Model A, I thought it would just be kind of fun to move right on over to a high-class luxury vehicle, right? Look at that third row seating. I mean, seriously, this thing is big, guys. It really is. It's surprisingly big. There's a lot of room in this. All right, let's pop the hood. What you would expect to be a big twin-turbo V8. Nope. There you go. But it is a twin-power turbo, right? Which I think is just a fancy way of saying a compound turbo. I don't know. It's quiet, though. And for a BMW, look at the amount of room there is under the hood to work on this thing, guys. You might actually be able to do a lot of work on this without having to pull the whole engine out. So I give BMW credit there. Love the headlights. The big grills, I don't know. Not really the biggest fan of these. It seems like every year BMW grills just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Gets to the point where it just kind of looks ridiculous. I think one day, probably not in the too distant future, guys, BMWs will have no grills at all because they're just going to remove them. You'll have nothing but headlights on the front, and the rest of it will be a radiator. I mean, seriously, think of the cost savings. What's the point, guys? Oh, this is one of those electric shutters. Yeah, so just remove all of this plastic all the way down here and all the way over there, right? Just take it all out and just leave everything exposed, and you will have nothing but radiators exposed to keep the thing nice and cool. Makes sense to me. I think it's coming, and I think people are really gonna love that nice, natural, exposed look of the cooling system. So I haven't been to Insurance Auto Auctions, and it's probably been 3 weeks. I've been so busy making my own car content at the shop, and I took a short vacation with my mom that I just haven't been out in a while, and something is very different here. You guys that have been watching this channel for any length of time, you guys know that typically these rows are filled. I mean, all of them. As far as the eye can see, guys, it's not even auction day yet. I'm filming the day before. I always film the day before auction day because that's when the most vehicles are going to be piled up and ready to go. Take a look. Guys, I know there's still a lot of cars here. I'm not saying that there's not, but I'm saying look around at all the space for activities out here. This is highly unusual to see the yard this empty. Wow. Yeah, so it's amazing how fast things can change in the automotive world. It can be a night and day difference from one day to the next. I am so used to coming out here and having so many cars to choose from, and it looks like today, well, guys, it's gonna be slim pickings. This may not be the most exciting vehicle you've ever seen on the channel, but it's one that I've just always been in love with. I can't really explain why. I've always loved the Ford frickin' Ranger, man. I just think they're great looking little trucks. Now, there's some people out there that'll say that's a girl's truck. All right, well, everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? But I don't know, there's just something about the little Ford Ranger I always thought was just kind of cute. I've had several of them. I've driven several of them. Never felt embarrassed or emasculated to drive a Ford Ranger. But then again, there's, some people out there, they're a little insecure in their masculinity, and, they wouldn't want to be seen in one of these. I'm not one of those. I love the Ford Ranger, man. Jump seats, yeah, cute little jump seats. What an interesting little truck. I'm hoping this has got a V6 and not a 2.3 liter under the hood. Looks like it's just got a little bit of front end damage. 186,000 miles, 2006. Oh yeah, she got the V6. That's good. Good. Under the hood looks, well, it doesn't look great, does it? You can tell this truck lived down a dirt road. No problem with that. I live down a dirt road myself, so I believe it's going to be a two-wheel drive variety. This little front piece that it literally clips on. The bumper is actually okay. The damage looks kind of rough, guys, but I don't think it's that bad. Oh, I'd be wrong. Let's get up in there and take a look at that. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, that condenser is just smashed. I don't see any damage anywhere else, though. That's all light damage, light work to repair. This piece, just buy that piece and replace the plastic part. Should probably be okay. Wheels, kind of nice. I like them. They're called CPEC? I don't know. And the tires are Corsa all-terrain XLs. Never heard of the wheels, never heard of the tires, but they look good. Got some nice little fender flares there. I think they look nice. Does it have power? That's the question. Probably not. Most vehicles out here don't have any power. And she does have some miles on her. Yep, she's dead as a doornail, guys. Huh. You got a Pioneer head unit, CD player. And what do we got? No smoking. So this may have been a rental vehicle at some point. Ashtray. Doesn't look like it was ever used. You got the books in the glove box. You got some old iPod connectors in there. Boy, that's old school right there, guys. Yeah. Power windows and locks. Yes. And yeah, two-wheel drive. I don't see anything for 4x4 in here at all. Why don't we throw a little boost on this thing? See if we can get it to run. Now, I just checked the coolant, and I'm sure you figured out early on that... Oh, come on. Are you serious right now? I didn't touch the locks. It didn't have any power at all. Oh, man. It locked itself. What do you think the chances are you can get in through that? Slim to none. Slim to none. I mean, I can't fit through there any damn way. Oh, it moves. Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, sometimes that happens. It's so rare that happens. I even tried to leave the door cracked, and apparently that didn't work. Huh. Well, I guess juicing it up did no good, because it seems to have locked itself. So, lovely. Well, there's nothing we can do about it now. I guess the only thing I can do is put it on my watch list. We'll see what happens. Check the suspension real quick. That wheel's turned out towards the driver's side, so hopefully this one is, turned in towards the driver's side. Still interested in the truck. It's not a big deal to get the door open. These guys out here do it all the time. They got the tools and everything. They don't have to hire or call anyone, but it is an inconvenience for them. I'll definitely go in there and let them know. that, oops, I didn't do it now. The truck locked itself. So here's one most of you probably are not interested in, but I am. Little Kias and Hyundais, they just float my boat. I don't know why, but I actually like these little cars. 2020 Kia Forte Sport. Looks like it says damage type is water, which, well, that would make sense because a lot of times they put this tape up here so they can leave the doors cracked to try to dry these out. Deep breath. Actually smells good. Doesn't smell like water. But when you see tape all across the doors like this, but yet there's no reason for the tape to be there, normally it's because they left the doors cracked. See how the tape will fit over like this with the doors being cracked? They leave these cracked so that it doesn't all just stagnate in there. The moisture has a place to escape as it evaporates from the heat out here. This car does not smell like a flood car, and it actually looks pretty damn good. No, I don't smell or see any sign of a flood. This could be a good one, guys. A lot of people are terrified of flood cars. I chase them. I do. I go after a flood car. I love them, guys. If you can get them to fire up, you're almost always going to be golden on these. A lot of times the engines can be freed. There's no water in the dipstick at all. This is a nice, naturally aspirated engine. I know that turbos are great. They're a lot of fun. You get that little, almost like a VTEC kick when the turbo kicks in, you know, when boost builds up. I get it, but at the same time, turbos add more complications and add more stress to the engine. I'm just kind of a fan of old school. It's hard to believe I'm calling this old school. This is not old school. Direct injection. We didn't have any of this back in the day, guys. But what I'm saying is a little bit more simplicity is a good thing in my book. Let's take a look and see what this filter looks like. What did it suck up? I'm not sure it sucked up anything. Why is this? Is this a runner? 38,000 miles. It says it's a run and drive. Well, let's start with the simple stuff. Does it have power? Is it put? Nope, not push to start. We got a key tag. Insurance deemed it a loss, obviously. We got some delaminating on this screen here really badly. No books. No sign of water intrusion in here at all, guys. None. Like none. No water lines. No nothing. We're going to throw a jump on this. I know you guys are probably getting bored of Hyundais and Kias, but again, I just love the things. They're great little econo boxes, man. They're super cheap to buy, especially if you can get them flooded like this. Nobody wants a flood car. What a lot of people forget is that flood cars aren't always a bad thing, guys. Too many people are used to the saltwater floods, and they automatically think that a flood is a flood is a flood. And it's not. Trust me, it's not. Saltwater floods, yes, avoid them at all costs. But freshwater floods, typically freshwater floods, don't mess with the electronics. They don't hurt wiring harnesses, anything like the corrosive salt in salt water. So let's see what it does. Claims it's a runner and a driver. If it is, I'll be interested in this one. It will go on my watch list for sure. Oh. Oh. Well, that ain't good, is it? Yeah, that's going to be a hard sell. Just be like, hey, all Kias make that noise. All right, all Kias and Hyundais make that noise. It's perfectly normal. I don't think there was any water in the interior. I think it just sucked it up into the engine. And while it did not lock up the engine, it definitely caused some damage, whether that's timing chain, valve damage. I don't think it's a rod. That sounds like timing chain. I think that's timing chain related. Yeah. Dang, that sucks. I was actually really interested in this one. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Kia is probably not going to warranty this. What do you guys think? That timing chain? Boy, it's so hard to tell where that's coming from. Is there any chance it's something external like a pulley or no? That's definitely inside the engine there. Oh, look at all that smoke. Oh my goodness. Wow. So we got a lot of blow by in here too. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, we got a lot of blow by. We got some pretty significant engine damage. It's smoking out of the exhaust. Don't worry guys, we're about to shut it off. Now, I don't see any smoke out the exhaust, but yeah, it's a wrap on this one. She needs a motor. End of the world? No, not the end of the world. But if you think I'm gonna go try to find an engine for this car, you're out of your mind. Ain't gonna happen. Well, I hear sizzling. What is that? Oh, that was weird. I heard like a sizzling noise. Maybe there is water in the engine. Look at all that smoke. What if it just needs an oil change? What do you guys think the chances are of that? A quick oil change, maybe put some motor honey in it, some sawdust, should be good to go. Sitting right next to the key is a 2013 Volkswagen Passat with 171,000 miles. It is an insurance car. It says the loss type is other, which there's no way to know what that means, guys. So I'm walking around, I'm looking for any obvious signs of damage, hail, or body damage from an accident. And I see one thing that sticks out to me. I'm going to show it to you in a minute if you guys didn't already catch it. But the car actually looks really good. So it's got good tires. They match, which is always a good sign. Looks like somebody probably maintained it. From what I can see of the paint, looks like it's decent as well. The damage that I saw was right here. That's it. And it's already got like some Bondo here anyway. This is bubbling. So it looks like it had a previous repair on this quarter panel right here, kind of in the dog leg. It's not thick though. You can see, I mean, it's less than the thickness of the tip of my fingernail. And I don't see any damage in here. So now there is a hole, a plug, where it looks like somebody went in here and did some work. That's not a deal breaker for me. I'm not sure why this is here, because that's old. It's got rust and everything on it. Interior looks relatively decent. Seats are in pretty good shape. Doors in good shape. Oh, it's got power? Really? Well, that's unusual for me, guys. Normally, we got to jump start everything. Oh, someone stole the key? Of course they did. I'm so sick of people. Come on, guys. Maybe they hid it. There it is. Yeah, see? People think they're slick. You got to look around. So, obviously, this was on this strap. They don't put the straps on here if there's not a key attached, right? So they had it on here, and somebody got it off, and then they hid it in here, hoping that they could win it with the key still in it. Somebody was changing the oil. Doesn't say where, but it says it was due at 179, and it's got 171, so miles are 171,770. There are no warning lights on the dash at all. It's a very stock car. It's actually in really good shape. Maybe Nick would like this. I gotta stop. I already bought what I was gonna give Nick, but now I'm thinking maybe he'd be better with something else. I don't know. Let's see if that air conditioner gets cold. We'll turn it down just a hair. And the radio? Welcome to Volkswagen. Yeah, all right.
They're fed up with them.
Radio works. Steering feels good. Air conditioning is cold, which is important. Gears, do we have a backup camera on this? Not in 2013, huh? Nope. Backwards? Yep. Brakes feel good too. Forwards? That took a minute. That was a little slow. Let's do that again. Backwards? Instant. Forward? It's a little slow. But yeah. All right. We have the books. It's always a good sign. I mean, honestly, car needs a little bit of a cleaning, but overall not too bad. I'm actually interested in this one, so important window works. Tinted windows as well. Ooh, that was a little noisy, wasn't it? Less important window also works. Guys, seriously, it's not a bad deal. Let's pop the trunk. This is not a bad deal. This is a great little car. I mean, it's not exactly little. Maybe it's kind of like a mid-sized car. Excellent tires. Looks like somebody just put tires on it. Look how clean this is back here, too. No joke. I think this car is going to clean up nice. For the life of me, I can't figure out why it's here. I don't see any signs of hail damage or any significant body damage at all. It's a great-looking little car. It's quiet. Let's go ahead and pop the hood. Let's take a look and see what's going on under there. This car is ready to roll, man. So somebody sent this thing off to salvage for an unknown reason, huh? That's crazy. 2.5 liter. I'm assuming it's a turbo, right? One of those TDI type deals. Listen to her. Runs like a sewing machine, guys. Even still has the battery cover. Seriously, that battery insulation cover. No joke. All right, you know this one's going on the list. 2013 Passat. Why are you here? Huh. Well, cross your fingers, guys. Maybe we'll get lucky and bring this one home. Now, I get a lot of people asking me to show more Hondas and Nissans. I'm going to be honest with you. Nissan's probably not going to happen, guys. I don't want to say I hate Nissan, but I really don't like them, mainly because of the CVT transmissions. They're kind of notoriously bad vehicles anymore. And if I'm being completely honest, I will take a modern Hyundai or Kia all day, every day, over a modern CVT Nissan. Anyway, here's a Honda for your viewing pleasure. This is a 2006 Honda CR-V, run and drive only 93,000 miles, which means this thing has at least 150,000 more miles left on it. It's got a little bit of hail damage, and it looks like the reason it's here is because it took a crunch in the back. Doesn't look that bad. Definitely something I think you could live with if you decided you didn't want to fix it. Somebody put a brand new tire on it for the spare, but unfortunately in the accident, you can see it hit down here and at a minimum knocked it off of its bead. Definitely some damage down here, guys, that goes a little further in than you probably think. I can't see it, but maybe you can if I get you guys up under there. Maybe you can see what the damage is. I don't know what you're looking at, guys. I'm just kind of pointing you guys around, hoping that you can see something. Let's see if it still works. Oh, wow. Oh, never mind. That goes way deeper. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. That goes a lot further than I thought it did, huh? Oh, goodness. Yeah. Oh, it folded the whole trunk pin. Yeah, scratch that. Scratch that. No. This is a perfect example of one of those vehicles that doesn't look that bad, but the reality is it's really bad. This one is really bad. I suppose if you got a hammer out and stuck it up against a tree and, hit the gas a few times, I might be able to straighten out a little bit. No, this one's a wrap as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to be interested in it. I am curious to see if it runs, though. Of course it does. Of course it runs. Got a bunch of wires shoved in here. That's always nice. You got I don't even know what this is. It opens, but it does nothing. Oh, it's a cup holder. All right, a little storage space down there. No books. Oh, cold air conditioning. Nice little CD player there, old JVC. 93,000 miles on the dash. The only warning light on is a maintenance light, probably for an oil change. You got I don't know what this is. Oh, it folds. Cool. It's kind of an interesting little vehicle, isn't it? Air conditioning is ice cold. Goes into drive. Goes into reverse. And then a parking brake right here. This is kind of cool. I do kind of like this. Yeah. All right. Well, obviously this one is going to be a little too far gone for what we're trying to do, guys. So we're going to move on to the next one. And with that, we're going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.